Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jag, and in today's class we're going to continue with our Math 9 content. And the topic we're continuing with is going to be solving these equations with fractions. So with that, let's get started. Alright, so here we are at our whiteboard. So it says equations with fractions or involving fractions for Math 9. Okay, and so let's try some questions from the textbook. And this is the review section, okay, within the textbook here. So again, we are using the principles of mathematics 9, okay? And let's try this simple example. So I have 1/3 x minus 1, and it's equal to 4, okay? So the first thing we're going to do here, okay, is I'm going to take, so we're not going to do the distributive property. I want to take the 3, which is the denominator, to the other side. And you see how it's divided on one side by 3. On the other side, I'm just going to multiply it by 3. And this 3 is going to be gone, okay? You notice that there's a 1 outside the bracket here. That's not going to make a difference. Okay, so we can actually take out the brackets, okay? So we're just going to put x minus 1 equals to 12 because I'm doing 4 times 3. Does everyone see that? And in the next step, I'm going to take this negative 1 to the other side. It's going to be plus 1. And x is equal to 13. All right, and that's my final answer. And that is all I'm doing here. Okay, so again, in the first step, you're going to take the denominator to the other side and multiply it. Okay, and then I'm taking the negative 1 to the other side. Every time you go across the equal sign, make sure you are changing the sign. Okay, are there any questions here? All right, so let's try another example. So I'm going to take this off. Okay, and let's try this one. So I have b minus 4 over 3, and it's equal to negative 5. Okay, again, the first thing I want to do is take this 3 to the opposite side. It is divided on the left side here, and I'm going to just times it by 3 on the opposite side. And you're just going to cancel it out, okay, to show that it's gone. So on the left side, I'm left with b minus 4 equals to negative 5 times 3, negative 15. Okay? And in the next step, I'm going to take this negative 4 to the other side. So again, make sure you are taking the sign, okay? That's in front of the variable or in front of the number. And on the opposite side, it's going to be plus 4, okay? And then you could just solve for the value of b because I took the negative 4 over. This is negative 11. Okay, and this is my value for b. It's equal to negative 11. Make sure you are watching the signs here. If you're not sure, you can actually put it into the formula as well, okay? Again, make sure when you are checking your answer, okay, I'm plugging it into the original equation. Let's try the check for this one. So I'm going to put check. Okay, and we got b equals negative 11, okay? But I'm going to just write out the original formula first. Okay, so b minus 4 over 3. Sorry, it's equal to negative 5, like this, okay? And the value for b, we have negative 11. I'm going to plug it into my equation. So it's negative 11 minus 4 over 3 equals negative 5, okay? So we're just solving like the left side of the equation here, okay? So negative 11 minus 4, negative 15 over 3 equals negative 5. And when you do negative 15 divided by 3, that's equal to negative 5. So negative 5 equals to negative 5. So again, whenever you are checking your answer, okay, make sure both sides are equal. And that way, again, I can tell with 100% certainty that b equals negative 11 is my final answer. And it is correct, okay? Are there any questions about that? Okay, on any quiz or test, make sure you are always doing the check, okay, whether it's mentally or the question actually asks you, okay, to do the check. Okay, so with that, let's go to the next question. Okay, so I'm going to take off the check as well. Okay, and let's take a look at this one. So it is 3 equals 3 over 4, okay, and p minus 1. Now this is my equation now. So again, the first thing I want to do okay, is take the 4 to the other side. I'm just going to multiply it by 4. I always write it out like that, okay? And then I cross out whatever the denominator is. And that way you can tell that it's gone now and I'm done with it. So on the left side, 4 times 3 is 12 equals 3, p minus 1. Okay, does everyone see that? We are going to open up the brackets here, okay? And so I'm just going to write it on the bottom here, okay? So we have some room. So 12 equals 3, p minus 1. Because I want to just show you that we could do the distributive property here. Okay, so 12 equals, and I'm going to do 3 times p, which is 3p. And then 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. Okay, is everyone with me so far? Okay, we just applied the distributive property here. I am isolating for p, okay? So I'm going to take this negative 3 to the other side. So it'll be 12 plus 3. Okay, so 12 plus 3 is 15 equals to 3p. Okay, and then I'm going to divide it by 3, okay, on both sides to get the value of p. So p, let's cross it out. P is 15 divided by 3, so p is equal to 5. Does everyone see that? Okay, and so again, whenever you start off, always start with the denominator. Take the denominator to the other side and make sure you are multiplying it. Okay, however, this doesn't mean that all of your answers will be whole numbers. That does not have to be the case. Okay, it just ends up being the case in the few examples we're trying here. So let's try the check for this. Okay, so one more time, let's put the original equation here. So 3 over 4, p minus 1. Okay, so this was my original equation. That looks good. We got p equals 5. I'm going to plug that in here to keep everything else the same, okay? So 3 over 4. And this is 5 minus 1. Okay, so you notice the left side is still equal to 3. So I have 3 over 4 times 4. Okay, so we're doing the brackets there. 5 minus 1, so 4. And then 3 equals, here you're going to multiply the numerators together. So 4 times 3, okay, which is 12 over 4. Okay, and then we see 12 divided by 4 is also equal to 3. So 3 is equal to 3. So I know with 100% certainty that p equals 5 is my final answer. Okay, so one more time, make sure you are solving the equation here. Okay, and then at the same time, make sure you're doing the check as well. Okay, whenever you do the check, that's just to make sure you have the right answer. Okay, again, the teacher cannot try and trick you. Okay, once you do the check, you know for sure, okay, that you have the correct answer here. All right, so with that, let's try one last example. So let me just take this off. Okay, and some of the questions you have to remember will ask you, okay, to do the check as well. So let's try this one. So 7 equals 6q plus 8 over 4. Okay, so this is our equation so far. What's the first step, guys? You look at the 4 here, which is a denominator. And I'm going to take it to the other side, so times 4. Okay, so just like that. And I would cross this out, so I know it's gone. So 7 times 4 is equal to 28 equals 6q plus 8. Okay. Here I'm going to take the positive 8 to the other side and then subtract it. So 28 minus 8, which is equal to 20. Okay, equals 6q. Okay, so now you notice here what we're going to do is we're going to just divide, okay, the two numbers here. I'm going to divide it by 6, okay, on both sides. Okay, so we are going to use the decimal here. So you notice if you do 20 divided by 6 on your calculator, let's cross it out. Okay, and what we are getting here is 3.3 for q. Okay, so I'm just going to round it to 3.3, okay, as my final answer here, okay. If your teacher says to leave it as a fraction, okay, 20 over 6 should be reduced. Okay, so let's put 20 over 6 here. And I'm going to make sure that I divide it by 2 on the top and the bottom. Okay, And what you're left with is going to be 10 over 3. Okay, so again, if you want to use the decimal, you can. Okay, I can also just use this fraction right here, which is 10 over 3. Okay, let's try the check for this. Okay, just because we got a fraction, so 6 cubed plus 8 over 4. Okay, so this was the original equation. Let's try plugging in the 10 over 3 into my equation here. So 7 equals 6 times 10 over 3 plus 8 divided by 4. Okay. So one more time, make sure you are just multiplying. Okay, the numerators first. And then you're going to divide it by the denominator. Okay, so let's write it out. 7 equals 6 times 10, so 60 over 3 plus 8 divided by 4. Okay. And then we're going to do 60 divided by 3, so 20 plus 8 divided by 4. Okay. And I can see this is just equal to 28 divided by 4. And we can see that equals to 7. Okay, so 7 equals 7. Okay, and therefore my 10 over 3 is my final answer. Okay, however, in most cases, you should actually be using the actual fraction as your final answer. Unless the teacher says it's all right for you to use the decimal. That would be the only time that I use the decimal. Okay. And one more time, when I plug this into the original equation, I could see that both sides are equal here, where 7 equals 7. That is with 100% certainty that I know 10 over 3 is my final answer. Okay? So this video basically covered Math 9, okay? This was equations with fractions, kind of as a review. And what we were doing was just like the review questions from the textbook here, okay? All right, so that looks good. And if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone next time. Thanks, bye.